So we need to work with men. We are not working against men. We're working against domestic violence.
Yeah.
We are working with men to create a better society.
Today we sit down with Tali Weissman-Gantz, a clinical social worker and the head of the Women's International Zionist Organization's Domestic Violence Prevention Programs. Hi Tali, it is a pleasure to have you. I want to go into a little bit about who you are, what your role is, and can you explain to the audience a little bit about what you do?
It's a pleasure being here today, and thank you for having me. So my name is Tali Weissman-Gantz, and I'm a clinical social worker, and I'm a psychotherapist. I work in WIZO, which is the biggest NGO in Israel. And my job is, I have the pleasure and the honor to lead the division of preventing domestic violence programs, which we develop to all kind of crew, which is from the mainstream crew as the, we have the November, which is like the main months of in all over Israel. We have special occasion.
It's like an awareness month.
Yes, it's like, during all these months in all over Israel, all over the city, municipality, and organization, even employees do like, I say like happy hour, but they use this time not just, for coffee and drinks, but to give their employees some information how to see and acknowledge if any of them or any of their family member is involving in bad relationship or a violent relationship. And of course, we're dealing with specific crew, such as doctors and social workers. And sometimes we're even working with lawyers. And we created all kind of studies, but that is specific in all kind of information that they have to own in order to create a better relationship with the client and to know how to help them in a better way.
What kind of studies?
Wow, all kind of. It starts from a one day. And you mean which kind of subjects we using? Okay, so wow, we have so many. First of all is, I think the biggest question that people ask, like just ordinary people, they say, okay, so you find out that I say husband, but it can be also the women, abusing you or dealing or behaving in a bad way to you. So why don't you just take your stuff and walk away? I mean, it's so easy. So I think like the biggest thing that we're dealing is to make the audience understand why does women stay in those relationships, how hard it is to go away. We're also working with kids. I don't think that the main people know that even the kids are not involving in the atmosphere, in the relationship of the father and mother, and they don't get hurt, they don't get abused by this dynamic. Those kids, just from being in the house and having those atmospheres, can have a PTSD. It's something that is new in the field, not in the professional field, but also to the audience people. And I think even now, in this day, that Israel is under 2 years of war and all the violent environment that we are all having is affecting us all. So think about those kids, that it's not only unsafe outside and you have alarms, it's unsafe to be at home, exactly.
Yeah.
So those mixing of a public trauma, like for everybody, and also a specific trauma, causing them to all kind of issues, and it's hard for them to develop and grow up as much as we, as the community, would want them to be.
Can we go into a little bit more about what you said about the question that you get all the time? Why don't you just pack up your bags and leave? I've heard that
so many times,
okay. so many different ways. Okay. And like, how do you don't have to answer the full question here, but what do you want people to know?
I'll just give you some points to think of, okay? Because most people doesn't think about it.
Right.
First of all, I must say that sometimes, the father and the mother, the couples just have their own issues, and they can be really mean both to one each other, but they can be really good parents I mean, this father, I will say father as, the hurting one and the mom as a victim, but it can also be, replaced. Yeah, the other way. This father can be a great father. He can take the kids to walks and to kindergarten and really love and hug them and, be this great man, this man that you married, okay, and the man of your dream. And this is the way he acts with the kids, but he can be totally different to you. Okay, so this is like one situation. The other one is some families have kids that have all kind of issues and difficulties and development problems, such as, autistic kids or other issues. And it's really hard to take care of those kids. So you have to take them to treatment. And to do it by yourself as a single mom, it's hard. Also, I must say, the economic issue, which affects us all, okay? If we bow, even now that we are under the war and everything is going up so much and there is such a big... How you support a family if you're only a single mom? It's really hard. Or a single dad, also. It's really, really hard to be single. And also, I must say that, Israel is very, very family traditional society. It's really hard to a man and also to a woman to get up and say, I want to be single. I want to divorce. Also, if you are not religious, and of course, if you are religious, it's really hard. It's like you're destroying the family. What happened with your kids? We are really conservative society. So it's not easy to come and walk away.
I'm sure there's also psychological elements of sort of like being unsure whether it's really that bad, or maybe I don't know.
Maybe I just think so.
Yeah, or I deserve it, or I'm not being a good enough
And it's not.
partner.
It doesn't happen every day. It's happened, once in a while.
Yeah.
And maybe I deserve it. Maybe it's because of me.
And how do you identify really? Okay, this is a bad day, and this is abusive.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a thing that people talk about a lot. I've seen it in like films and movies and books and a bunch of different kinds of things. So I think, like, would you say that then, with the groups that you have, or even with the happy hour that you just explained, you kind of give people the indicators of what would be, okay, hey, maybe I need to think about this deeper. Maybe
I think the first thing to do is to name the situation and the way that you have a violence in the relationship. I mean, it's not only physical. Some people made a mistake and think, okay, I'm not being beaten. He never raise a hands on me or something. That never. Okay, but he does check every time that I'm using my credit card, and he's asking me, why did you buy this? Why did you buy this? And maybe some people have like a small amount of money, and this is what they need to deal with, no matter if they work or not. Okay, so this is like economic abuse. Most people doesn't know it.
Right.
And there is emotional abuse or gaslighting or all kind of...
controlling.
Yes, and sometimes people are really doesn't know if they deserve it. Is it normal? Maybe it happened also like this to my sister. Maybe this is the way he used to grow up, in his family, and it doesn't mean to harm. And I must say there is also another way to control now, which is, I would say, new, which is controlling the relationship in the family by using all kind of camera. All these, or controlling, tracking you on the website, using the phone, and then checking you. What happened to you? You didn't buy those groceries that you spoke about this morning. I was busy at work. No, you had an appointment that was canceled between 1 to 3. Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Do you have an affair? What do you do at this time because you didn't go to buy anything? So we see all those kind of elements that we didn't have before. And also these kind of elements happen most in family that one of them is maybe engineer or, having a lot of information about how to use all those computer and other kind of stuff. And he can control, he know all the password to the bank and to the email, even the personal thing. There is no such a thing as personal. He controlling you by everywhere. Where did you go? Everything. It's just using, those normal programs to control you.
Right. And I wonder if the dynamic becomes like normalized. Like it's like, as you said, like if this is how somebody grew up, maybe that's how they saw their parents grow up, or maybe not so much with the technology, but like, let's say their friends and their family members are experiencing the same thing, you think, oh, okay, well, I'm just like everybody else. It's sometimes hard to see, especially if you're in love and you have a good relationship and it's not every day and it's not all the time. It can be like underlying, which I think sometimes is not more scary, but there's a scary element to that because it can go unnoticed, or even if it is noticed, you can push it away a little bit more and not have to confront it right at the beginning.
Yeah, of course. And this is one of the reasons that we're working with kids and also teaching professional how to recognize that those kids may be under some kind of a bad dynamic between their parents, because those kids that we work, that those kids even they didn't hurt, but they saw, and some of them they don't go to friends and they don't invite friends to come over because they're not sure which kind of atmosphere their friends may find out when they're coming. Okay, and when they're having like a family dinner, so as you just saying, all their aunts and uncle, they all have the same atmosphere in their own house, so they don't know it can be different. And when they grow up, they recognize love and abuse as the same thing, because this is what they know about life and about relationship.
That's why I think the work that you're doing is so important in order to raise awareness. I want to move a little bit now to something a little bit different. We're talking a lot now about sort of like more of the dynamic between a woman being the person that you're helping. I know that there's a new program called A Father is Born, and I would love to hear a little bit more about that and how it started and also what it is, what you do.
Okay, so wow, it's a great honor to me to lead this program and to create it. Wow, first of all, I must say that even though WIZO is the NGO that empowers women, and I'm a big part of this unit, as I said before, our opinion is that if we want to create a change and really affect, so we need to work with men. We are not working against men. We're working against domestic violence. Okay, this is really important, and we want to help women during all kind of their life dilemmas or changes. Okay, but we are working with men to create a better society. This is really something that it's really important to me to say, okay? Because sometimes women organizations are, people think that they're like against men and want men, feel that men are only, bad and using violence. Okay, we're not like this. So this is the first thing that I really want to say. And Father is Born is a very new program that we developed now during the war, because we figure out that we are under war for almost 2 years. Okay, the atmosphere is so stressed for everybody. Just for example, this morning, more than 1 million people wake up because of alarm from a rocket. Okay, it's not normal in any way. I can see my kids. We're going to see a show and they ask, okay, where is the safe zone? Okay, this is not normal. So this is first of all our status as everybody. So we all stress, and then some people are doing a reserve duty for over and over and over. Even I heard about 300 days and 400 days, and they're exhausted, and their family are exhausted, and the women need to handle everything, the kids and the house and work. And then, okay, we created all kind of program for women and kids. And then we thought, okay, what about those men who served the country for such a long time, and all those time that have to go from the field to the house and change the atmosphere between, you have to keep your life and keep about your friend's life. And sometimes you see people around you that are getting hurt, and you have to be cruel sometimes because you're in a war. You have to survive. And then you're coming back home, and your wife, all she wants you is, okay, take the kids now. I need some times off. And and they need some time to themselves, and all those changing also between the part of your personality that you need to use, because in the field you have to be really sharp and all the time you survive. And at home you have to be love and soft and gentle to your kids and your wife. It's really hard to change atmosphere. And then on top of all of those two situations, what happens if there is a newborn at house? Okay, just imagine, because the most wanted and loved baby born is a big issue to every kind of parents, okay? It's hard to manage life with a baby born. You don't sleep, you don't eat. You have to reset the family. So if you have all those kind of situation all together, okay, we thought, okay, this is like a really big thing to deal with all those three triggers. So we said we want to support those men. And I want to thank to the initiative Kavim Leshinui and another initiative Shitufim, both of them helping us, and they support this program. And wow, I feel lucky. I heard from the people that we already had 5 group, and I heard from the people that were in it. Such a great thing. It's an honor for me to lead this.
I think what you just said before about it not just being centered on the women, and in order for like the dynamic at home to be good, you have to focus on every element of the people who are at home. Exactly. So important. And the fact that that's what your organization does is incredible. Just from hearing you say it, it's so easy to imagine how difficult that could be, because your whole home dynamic is changing. When you have a newborn, you have everything is different, and then you come home potentially, as the father, and like maybe people need support, and people need, but also you need support. You need these things.
Who sees you?
Right.
Who give
exactly.
you like this time to adjust. You don't have any time.
It's crazy. So how does that look? I mean, when you first started the program and people were coming to you, what did you find were sort of like the main things that people were saying?
So first of all, I think it's amazing, because as I told you before, I'm just trying to, I'm just starting to create some, the information that those people share with us. And first of all, I must say, most of them never been in a group of men, in a men group. It now become really popular. It's like it's edgy. It's something really cool, but it's mainly cool in Tel Aviv, and we work all over. So most of our men not in Tel Aviv. So this is their first experience, just to have a space from themselves to share from each other experience, to reflect and think together. What do they need? What do they need from themselves? What do they need from their wife? Sometimes what do they need from the army, and what do they need from work, just to take some time off, to think about this. And I must say, some of them really say things that's really touching. Like one of them was holding a new baby born. It's a girl, and she's 3 years old. And he was holding her because of the war that we had in Iran during these groups. So, of course, we did a group online on Zoom. Thank you. So he was holding her and, talking to the group. And he was saying, this war surely took my father away from me. And he was holding his baby and speaking about how hard for him is to attach to this baby girl, because he's all the time coming back and forth. I don't know. It's really, I think, and I must say that, as I told you before, 90% from the men that were in our group, that were participate, say that it affected in a good way on their relationship at home. So for me, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing.
But the world of men's mental health is being looked at more as time goes on, but there's also so much space for it to still be something that's looked into. I feel like you guys are sort of paving the way in that sense of having a space for people to go, because a lot of times I think it's sort of like you're told maybe you'll deal with it later, man up a little bit, you'll be fine, you need to be tough, whatever it may look like. So I think being able to have that space is so important. How do the sessions usually look? Are they in person and online? How does it work?
Okay, so, we work, I think all of us work in the last year like in a situation of routine and under war.
Yeah.
In a stress situation. So first of all, I must add that we had all our leadership are also men.
Oh wow.
Yes, because we want this to be like a men talk without us women. Really, to give them the space. I think that some of them, and they spoke about being a man, what is like being a man, what is like being a man in Israel, what is like being a soldier. And I think this, to have this time leading by a man that is leading the conversation, I think it's really important. It's like their own zone. So this first of all, and then we wanted all the meeting to be face to face. I think there is something really welcome, and we want even the meeting. Our goal and dream is to have those men some kind of space and process that will go on even after this meeting those meetings will finish, and they will be friends. I mean, one of the most happy thing that happened that after this meeting they went to have a beer together, and I said, "Yeah, okay, this is what I want them, because I want them to have a friend that they can share their emotional with,
a network of support.
Yes,
of people who understand
exactly, and in the same situation. So this is work really good. Of course, when we were under fire, all of us in the Iran war, which find us during the time that we are working, so we moved into a Zoom. But the process is still going on, so we come back to meet together. And I must say that another thing that I think is really nice and welcome, that every meeting have a small dinner, so really they can come and have a coffee and something nice to eat.
Relaxed.
Yes, it's the time for themselves. I want them to be spoiled. Okay, this is one of my, really, I want them to take this time for themselves and really enjoy it, and to give them the atmosphere so they can share everything. Bad, good times, their dream, their wishes, their pain. A lot of guilty feelings raise up during the sessions. They really feel ashamed to their wife, ashamed to the kids. And I want to give them a zone so they can share it and then go home, feel better, and have the ability to give from themselves to others. Because if you're getting something, you can also give to the family.
Very true. For people who are listening, could you kind of maybe talk a little bit about some of the main issues? I know you said the feelings of guilt, but maybe if we could be a bit more specific so that people maybe can hear it and feel like, hey, I resonate with that and I'm not by myself.
Yeah. And also I want to say that hopefully in September, and then after the holidays, we will open some more groups. So it's whoever hear us can contact WIZO, and I would love them to join us. So I must say the sessions are not open. We have really a program which we create with Yair After, which is a big figure. He's a doctor, and his main specialize is working with fathers and working with soldiers, and he's also a couples therapist. Okay,
so perfect for the job.
Yeah. We chose him specifically. Wow, he's really a big mentor in Israel, and I'm really happy to work with him. And we developed together a program for every session. It starts, of course, to think about what you think. What is fatherhood for you? Okay, what did you take from your father? What do you want to keep? What are you giving to your child? What do you want to keep? And what do you wish you will not, pass it on? So, we speak about this. And we also speak about the dynamic at home. What do the men need? What they think the wife needs? How to communicate with their wife? How to ask? How to say no if she wants something from you, because they feel that because they were not there, so they have to say yes to everything, and sometimes they just cannot do it. And then from them, we're moving to dealing with anger in relationship, and how to help myself just to the situation and to calm down. Maybe sometimes I need to space. Sometimes when we argue, I say, okay, I cannot do it anymore. Let's take a break. I go for a walk. I'll take the baby for a walk. Let's talk about this tomorrow, okay? Just, sometimes you have to cut the situation so it will not go on. And we work in all kind of ways to calm yourself down so it will not be too much for the couple. And then we working about a dream and what they wish from themselves and for the baby. And it's a great program.
it's sort of an ever-changing dynamic that, as you said before, completely not normal. Like, I feel like you guys have to adapt to a situation that isn't the regular situation. It's not like this happens in everybody's lifetime, in every country, in every place. And it's really interesting to hear what kind of things have to come up and what kind of support needs to be given when you are at war, when people are leaving. Since October 7th, you know, people left on that day. And I remember like a crazy feeling that I had. I had a neighbor who had just had twins. And it was literally the evening of October 7th. And I opened my door to say goodbye to somebody. And I see her husband, like in uniform, coming down the stairs.
Wow.
He turned around and he was like, look after my wife. And it really hit me there where I was like, this is absolutely crazy. And we've almost become used to it because it's our reality for almost 2 years. But this isn't the regular family dynamic. It's not the regular relationship dynamic. And people need support. They really, really do.
So first of all, I must say also the army now, after such a long time that we are all under war, creates all kind of sessions. Not something like we do, but he does give support. I know that soldier has been giving like this money to go to therapists, to a couple therapists, and they need it. And I know that, I don't know, as I told you, we started working with the women because they left alone. So we started to help those women. And then after this, we started this program. And now we also have a hotline, for men, just for helping them dealing with the war situation. And sometimes with all kind of issues in the relationship, in close relationship that they have. This is another hotline that we have only for men.
קו לגברים.
קו לגברים, כן, כן, כן.
Because that's also really important, because there's also people who maybe, haven't had children yet, or they're trying to figure out the dynamic of their relationships. You're away, some people are away for, as you said, over 300 days.
Yes.
That is...
And going back and forth, so every time you come into this situation, and, I heard from men, sometimes, they're sitting on the sofa, and, their kids and wife, they just got used to live without them, so they use them as a planet or something, They just see, okay, they're sitting on the sofa. Sometimes they really want them to share their life, and sometimes those other men that just wanted to sit on the sofa and have some time,
right.
And they say, okay, they want me to go and taking them, I don't know, to after school program or to the end of the year program, and all I want to do is sit on these sofas. So it's really hard to every family to find what is good for her, and I think this is why we need, as a society, to give a hand to every member in the family and to work with them to make some kind of balance, because it's really hard. It's hard for me, and my husband is working and he's too old to go to reserve duty, so he's with me at home, but it's hard to deal to every family.
Every person's situation is unique, and I think everybody's feeling it, so definitely important. That's why I think it's also so important that even though your organization's focus is usually more on the women, the fact that you see an issue and you're like, okay, we need to intercept this, we need to realize how we can help, because in the end it benefits everybody. And it also, what you were saying before, the prevention of things that, even if it's just a toxic environment at the home, that in itself, really, really important. How do you think that the program will sort of continue in the future? Where do you see
you meet my dream now, because first of all, I think that and I told my boss, I think that fatherhood and dealing with fatherhood as a subject to everybody and all kind of fathers. For example, also, I developed now a new group for very religious fathers, those fathers that they're not working because they're learning. Mm-hmm. And so they take care of the kids because they bring them to the daycare or school, and then they take them afternoon. They learn in the day, and the mom work outside of home. So now I develop a program for them because, they manage the kids morning and in the afternoon. So they also need to manage, how to help them, how to speak with them, what is punishment in this day, what is father's authority. And so for those men, I work with a very religious man who have 8 kids from his own. Wow. And also, of course, he's professional with working about those fatherhood issue in the community. So this is a first thing that I'm doing already. But for me as a dream, WIZO, we have all those daycares. For me, if I could open fathers and maybe even a mother, together.
Yeah.
But a father group, in every daycare, just to speak about it, because I think also as a community, as a society, we have been through a big change. And if I cannot say that the war caused something good, but I think that the big change in this war, that even in the beginning, so many soldiers and so many men picked up the phone and say, I need help. I cannot deal with it alone. I need someone to talk to. And until this war, men, they didn't talk. They were not allowed to speak. If you speak with a therapist, wow, you either live in Tel Aviv or, you're something. It's really, yeah, it was something for women. The women's talk. And now, in this change, we have been through a change as a society. And I say, okay, let's take it, okay? I wish it would not happen during the war, but now, okay, we all know we need to speak. It's help everybody in the family. Let's do it, and let's help everybody to have somewhere he can speak and say whatever he's dealing with and get some help and share his experience also.
Yeah.
For me, it's a dream. I wish. For me, my goal for the next year is to work with fathers.
I think it's incredible and it's so important, especially because even talking about working with more religious men, there's so many aspects of Israeli society. There's so many different types of people. There's so many different types of family dynamics. And I feel like we're only touching the surface of what can be. So I really hope that, it continues to grow and that you're able to kind of make positive impact with families all around. I'm so grateful that you came to speak with us today.
Thank you so much.
I hope that if anybody is listening and needs help, they know that they can reach out. And obviously we'll put all the information in the description.
Thank you.
And I just hope you keep going up from here.